guys, this is Amy at Sew Back, and I'm going to do my February 2022 book haul. So this is going to be kind of a long video. I brought 49 books into my house. Anyway, yeah, I need to do some shelf rearranging. I really need another bookshelf or two. Maybe in my bedroom. I'm running out of space. Anyway, so I'm going to go through this. The first books I'm going to talk about are all the books that I bought during the month. Like normal accumulation, even though it was like 26 books. And then I got 23 books at a library book sale that I went with my dad on near the end of the month. So we're just going to go through these. So I've kind of split these up into groups every time I do this. So let's just do, the first group I'm going to do is kind of a weird grouping, but I have to admit that I bought most of these books while I was sick with the dreaded virus. And I think I was just trying to get books. I decided to buy books that I probably bought on Kindle deals that I've just never read. And I have no inclination to pick up my Kindle to read them, but I got them physically. So there's a couple books like that. So we'll start with these. So I actually purchased The Power of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've been wanting to read this since I heard about it, because it has to do with dragons and women warriors and things like that. So I don't know much else beyond that. I also got Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. As I said, another one that I was attracted to because it has to do with two timelines and as a mystery and spooky setting and stuff like that. So it just sounded really good. I also picked up The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. The first book in the, I can't remember the name of the series. A Chorus of Dragons, I think that's what it is. Anyway, so I've been wanting to read this for a really, really, really long time, and I've had it on my Kindle forever, but never picked it up. And I thought, well, maybe if I have a physical. And since a lot of people are talking about it, because I think the last book is coming out this year, I kind of wanted to try that. I also picked up The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Again, another book I have. I think I have the whole series on ebook, but I'm not picking it up. So I thought if I got the physical, I might read it sooner. We'll see. And again, that's more of a historical fantasy, or I think it's kind of like yeah, it's Cairo, 18th century Cairo. Yeah, and then again, there's jinns. I think some thief or some con person gets transported somewhere. I'm not sure. Sounds really good. A lot of people love that series. Dagobah series, I think it is. And then I also got an N.K. Jemisin book, The 100,000 Kingdoms. I've had this on Kindle probably since almost when I got my Kindle. One of my Kindles at one point. I know it's one of the older ones because this is from 2010. So I've always wanted to read this series, the Inheritance trilogy. I had the big thick bind-up of all three of them, but I just could not read it. I just had no inclination to get bind-ups anymore that are really huge ones. So I got the physical book for the first one because I want to read it. And then I also got The Tethered Mage by Melissa Caruso. So this again is another fantasy. I'm not sure. I keep thinking it's somehow some magic that people are connected to each other for. I'm not sure. I've got a lot of things. The Norpik Gloss by Essa Hansen. So this one is again a sci-fi. Oh, this is the guy, I think his family was killed. He survived, but he's now in a crew with misfits and other people. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one this is. I bought this, again, it was one of those ones where I saw it on sale and I bought it because even though I have it on ebook somewhere. And then I picked a Nalini Singh of one of the series that I actually have not read this hard play novel. This is her contemporary romance series. I just haven't, since it came out, I think it came out 2 years ago. I just have, as I said, I have to be in the right mood. Yeah, 2020. So the next book in the series, though, is coming out maybe later this year. So I finally decided to get this one, even though I had it on ebook since it came out in 2020. I just hadn't got around to reading it. And these are about Australian or romances. They're mostly this is a rugby player, Jacob. So and his love story. Anyway, so I just haven't got to that one. It's part of a series that I really, really enjoy. And then, so those are all the books that I bought that I technically have ebooks of too. Then here are a couple that I bought that are new books, or books that I bought new just because. I got Engines of Empire by R.S. Ford. So I know this one is a beginning of a new series, I believe. Yeah, The Age of Rising. It has to do with, I think something with mechanics and guilds and things like that. So I really am wanting to, this just sounded really good. So I just picked it up one day, as it did with all these books. I also picked up something that looks kind of funny called Bad Gods by Gail Sabord. I think this is like the first in a series. I think somebody is going to a certain town that you can get kind of anything. I'm not sure, but it looks funny. I think this was a re-release. I think this came out before, and now the series is going to get continued. I'm not positive, but I feel like this came out before. Yeah, like 2011. So anyway, that sounded good. I also got The Brightest Star in Paris by Diana Biller. Again, I read The Widow of Rose House last year and really enjoyed it. And one of her novella that also dealt with that. This is the brother of the main character of The Widow of Rose House, and he goes to Paris, and I think he meets a woman, and I think she's kind of in trouble, and somehow he gets involved, and he's a doctor. Anyway, I don't know, but I thought it looked cute, and I think there's a third book coming out. I don't know if it's related to that one. I just meant another book by her is coming out later this year or early next year. Early next year, I think. But I wanted to read another book by her. And then I also got The Ancestor by Danielle Chosoni, which I can't remember now something about she is like the heir to some family she didn't know about. And so she leaves to visit them, and of course there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't remember now, but this has been on my wish list forever, and one day I just bought it. So those are all the new books that I bought, again, during February. Now let's talk about the used books that I bought during February at home online. I bought Mae Vinci book. I don't know why I keep buying her books and I haven't read them yet, but like no more until I read the ones that I have. I mean, again, I read her back in the 90s. I probably read everything that was out at that time, but everything later I didn't read. I got away from her. So Nights of Rain and Stars is a book I saw on somebody's channel that I decided to get. As I said, I got a used copy, but it has to do with four strangers who meet at a Greek taverna in a small village, and then I think somebody who lives there is from, I think someone lives there also gets involved with them, and they all have their own issues and things they have to work through. But again, I've always liked her books back in the day, and I just now have bought like 3 or 4 of them. So I need to read one. I need to stop buying them, but I remember enjoying them a lot. Then I bought a few books from Pals, because getting Pals is in town, but I got it mailed to me because I was sick at the time. And dang it, it was a sale, and I forgot to put the sale code on it, so I didn't even save any of the money. Darn it. Anyway, the 3 that I bought, the first one was The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook. I cannot remember who I saw this on. I don't know if it was Maria at MH Books or not, but I know I saw somebody talking about this, and I put it on my wish list, and I just bought it. So it has to do with a family that goes to a remote Scottish island to where this lighthouse is, and the woman's a single mother, and she has 3 daughters, and 2 of them go missing, and then she tries to figure out what's going on, and then many years later, 22 years later, the daughter that didn't go missing, gets a call that says one of her younger sisters was found, but her sister looks the same age as she was when she disappeared. So there's obviously, hey cat, no, sorry, I'm not stopping for him. Anyway, so just one's in the closet. Anyway, so this one sounds kind of interesting, kind of speculative. I don't know. We'll see. I also got The Grey Bastards by Jonathan French. This is the first book in this series. And again, I've read a lot of books about orcs and other things. I think these are orcs. But they're, as I said, I like to do the more the differences, you know, for fantasy and have their personal look at a fantasy world. I just think they're kind of interesting. But I think this is kind of, I don't know if this is on the grim dark side. I don't know. But they go on a quest of some sort. Anyway, so I got that used. And then I got Fleebliss, I think is how you say that. I'm not sure. It's the first book in the Culture series by Ian M. Banks. I've not read anything by him, and I've always wanted to. So I got the first book, which I didn't realize was so big. Yeah, it's almost 500, or just about 500 pages. So anyway, all I know is there's some war going on. And things are happening. I don't know enough about this, but I did buy that. Ugh, sorry, Coopers. And then I bought, oh, I forgot, I bought this one, two of these new, sorry, they're small ones, so I moved them out of the way. I did buy Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. Again, I've heard so many things about this, about the first book in the Sun Eater series. I do want to try this at some point. I think it's like kind of a science fiction fantasy kind of cross we're getting a man telling his story, and I guess everybody thinks he's destroyed things. I don't know, but I hear cat. I don't know why he's being a butt. Anyway, so I do maybe probably I'm doing this. I don't know. Anyway, so I've heard really good things about that one, so I'd like to read that. I also got this little teeny book, which is The Signal Man, a ghost story by Charles Dickens. For Victober, probably. I'd heard about this short story, but I wasn't in any of the things I had with Charles Dickens. So that's all I know is it's one of the ones I haven't read of his ghost story kind of things. And then one of the books, the only book in all the stuff I bought in February that came to my house via the mail probably, was Last Guard by Nalini Singh. This is is this 20? I don't know what number. We are so far into the series. Is that right? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. This is 20. So, of the Side Changeling series, one of my favorite series of all time. I haven't reread a lot of these, but that's coming up because the new book is coming out in July. So I'm sure right before that I'll binge a lot of the books. But this is a really good entry into it. Do not start here. It's a good paranormal romance, urban fantasy series that is mostly, you know, it's definitely on the romance side with the different couples in each book, but they build on each other. The world machinations and the world building here is just fantastic. It's one of my favorites because it's a futuristic place where there are psychics, shifters, and humans vying for power. And then the last of the books that I bought from eBay, that are all the books in the Pride series that I did not own. So that is all of these. I had the first two in this series, so this is... Why do I feel like I'm missing a book? I am missing a book. I didn't bring it in here. Sorry. Anyway, I'll get it in a second. But these ones I have is The Main Squeeze, which is book 4. Sorry. The Main Attraction is book 3. Beast Behaving Badly is book 5. Is that right? Book 6 is Big Bad Beast. Number 8 is Wolf with Benefits. And book 9 is Bite Me. But I will go get the other ones and then I'll move things around. So and again, I'll explain that more. Okay, sorry for the shift because I had to move things and my cat keeps knocking my tripod over. This is book 7 in the Shelley Lawrenston Pride series. Again, I'm binging this. Bear Meets Girl is the one I'm just about to finish. Anyway, so I bought all the Pride series except for the first 2 books in February because I wanted to finish the series, and I got them all on eBay. So these are books I'm all reading. These are probably the only ones that I've read other than that Ling You Sing one. So again, those are the 26 books that I had brought into my house. So now we're gonna do the books that I bought at the used book sale that I went to, or the library book sale that I went to with my dad. So I've kind of split these up into different groups. Let's start with the science fiction fantasy stuff. There's not too much of that. I did get another of the culture novels. I think this is book 3, which is Use of Weapons by Ian M. Banks. So again, I don't know a lot about this, but I picked it up because it was the sale. So we went on Sunday, which was the last day of the sale. So it was 20 books for $10. So I got 23 books, but with my dad's books, we came out closer to 60 books. So anyway, so we got everything for about 50 cents. Let's just go with that. So I just picked up a lot of stuff I probably didn't have to. I also got a Peter F. Hamilton book called The Reality Dysfunction. Is that how you say that? Anyway, so it's gigantic. And again, it's another space one. I don't know if this is, it looks like it's part of a series. I think it's the first book. I think I checked that. But I don't know enough about this. If you guys have read any of these, let me know. I bought a lot of stuff. I also got Looking for Jake by China Melville. I own like everything, but I didn't have this, and I don't think I've ever seen this book. So it says these are some fantasy. I thought they were short stories. Yeah, so they're short stories. I mean, there's quite a few of them in there. So anyway, I don't do short stories very much, but I haven't tried many of his. I've tried some of his shorter novels, but not that. And again, I think I have one book of novellas I haven't read yet. I have a lot of his books. I need to read more of his stuff, but he's more kind of new weird. And I don't know, I didn't have that one, and I didn't know anything about it, but it was there, 50 cents. I also got Battle Mage by Stephen Aaron. So I've bought his newest book, The Coward, that I want to read. I'm pretty sure that's the same author. I know I have another book by this guy. I thought it was that book. I'm not sure. I might be getting my books mixed up. Anyway, this is a trilogy, and I know it has to do with a battle mage, and he's sworn to fight and die for his country. And then there's a princess, who's a spy master, and then another soldier, and I'm sure they're all connected somehow. I'm not sure. I think this is a trilogy, so I think it's all out. So if I like it, I can get the other books. But I found the first book. It was on my wish list, so I just bought it. So then I have some mysteries. Oh wait, I do have one more. Sorry, one more fantasy. I did buy Lothair, is how you say it, by Cressley Cole. So I have a lot of the Immortals Ever After on my shelf. I stopped reading them years ago, but the thing is I never read very far. I owned a lot of them used, and I had a really beat up copy of this one. So I saw this one and I was like, 50 cents, I can replace the other one I have. But I haven't restarted this series. This is another series that I would like to binge now that she's got a new book that just came out. So it is a book, it's another one of the series that I would like to read, and I have the first 10 or so of the series, and then some of the later books after that. I'm just not sure how far into the series this one is, but I know that, I have it now, so anyway, that's that one. And then, okay, so then, let's see, how can I move this stuff around? Let's move this around. Sorry, I got too many, I have a lot of books. And not enough space by my chair. Okay, so another mystery is, or I don't know, is mystery thriller kind of thing. This is more one of those pandemic books, but this is written beforehand and came out during it, and has to do with a fever starting and killing people in Indonesia, and then I think and then it spreads worldwide kind of thing. And I think this came out like in the year of 2020. So I remember hearing about this. It's a thriller, they say. I wasn't sure how, if it was, 2020. So I just think he had bad timing, but I heard I remember seeing people read this and enjoying it. So we'll see. It's a thriller, but it's a medical thriller, so I think I might like that one. I don't like thrillers all that much because I don't like domestic thrillers, but if it's more medical, then I like those ones, even though I'm not sure I'm ready for a pandemic book again right now, but we'll see. I also picked up The Lost Man by Jane Harper, because this is the book I want to read at first. I have read The Dry, and I tried to read Force in Nature, and I didn't really care, so I just let it go back to the library. And but The Lost Man is the one I wanted to read because it was a standalone and has to do, I think, with some brothers who find their brother dead, but under weird circumstances out on their really big property out in Australia. So anyway, I've always wanted to read that one, so I got that. I picked up The Child Finder by Renee Denfield. So this is one I've seen people talk about a woman, I think, who, I don't know if she was kidnapped or something happened, and she helps find other children. But I can't remember, or someone she knows got lost. I don't remember, but I think she helps find kids. I'm not sure, but it just sounded interesting, and again, 50 cents. I picked it up. I picked up this one because I've been wanting to get this from the library, and I just haven't got around to it. This is by Alexander McCall Smith, who does the Lady Detective Agency. I don't remember the name of that series. Anyway, I don't remember. I read that series a long time ago. Anyway, this one's called The Department of Sensitive Crimes. And so I think it's kind of, it's supposed to be kind of weird. I think it takes place in Sweden, but I'm not sure. It just sounded interesting when I looked at it before. Oh, number 1 Ladies Detective Agency. I knew it was something like that. Anyway, so this guy, I think, who goes by Wolf, I think he is in an investigation of some sort. Anyway, I don't remember, but it's another book that it was on my library book list, and I thought 50 cents, whatever. I also picked up The Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne, and it's a locked room puzzle. It says at the bottom here, and I remember somebody talking about this, that this was a novel, like a locked room mystery novel, like. Yeah, it was published in 1922. So I might be able to read this for March Mystery Madness because it was published in 1922. I don't know, but I don't know anything about this. There's nothing on it. It looks like it's one of those, printed for on demand kind of thing. So, or, cheap on Amazon. But I don't remember. Somebody was talking about this so long ago, but I saw it and I go, oh, I'll buy that. And well, 50 cents, So I might read that. Let's see here. Let's go. What are these? Oh, that's historical. Okay, so then let's do the contemporaries I have. Yeah, let's do contemporaries. So I picked up A Terrible Country by Keith Gresson. So I don't know anything about this. I picked up because it's the Fitzcarraldo editions, and I bought several of these. Mostly they're translated. This one is not. I think he's from New York. But it has to do with a man, I think in 2008, he moves to Moscow to help his grandmother. And then he's kind of stuck there, and he sees all the people around him, what they're doing and stuff. So it sounded interesting. I don't know. Here, this is, I think, my only translated work, I think, that I bought was Went Gone by Jenny Erpenbeck, I think is how it is. I've had this on ebook for years, and I tried to read it a couple of years ago for Women in Translation, but I didn't get to it because this was published in 2015. This translation was done by Susan Bernarski in 2017. So I keep thinking it was kind of going around the BookTube rounds in 2017 or 18. I probably bought it then. Anyway, I know this has to do with a guy who I don't know if he was an older guy, and I think he deals with refugees in his town, I think. So, I mean, this is from several years ago, but I think it might still be pretty interesting. I got a couple Nora Roberts because I really enjoyed The Liar last month. So I got Come Sundown. So I don't know what a lot of these are about. I just picked them up because, again, I can't even remember what this one's about. This one, there's like no description on here. So I can't remember which one this one is. But it looks pretty. Like, it's just, I don't know. So I think it's like, it's definitely a romance, but I think there might be a little suspense in there. I don't remember what that one is. The Villa, I know, is about a winery, I think, and then something starts, the scandal starts or something. I don't remember what happens, but again, it's another Norma Roberts. My mom really likes that one, so I got that. I also got the Book of Speculation by Erica Swiller. So this is one that I've seen mixed reviews on, but I thought I'll just give it a shot because it has to do with a book that ends up on this guy's doorstep, but it's filled with things that that might have something to do with his dead mother. I'm not sure. So he and a friend, I think, are trying to figure out the secrets. I don't know, but it was a really good copy, and I just picked it up. And then I have 3 nonfictions. I didn't buy a lot of nonfiction this year, or this month. That's weird. I did find Wild Swans, 3 Daughters of China by Chung Chang. So I've heard other people read this, and so I've wanted to read this about 3 generations of people from China. And so I think, I can't remember how, I don't know if it was the first one is dealing with World War II, and then the middle one was the Cultural Revolution. I'm not positive, but again, as I said, it's a memoir about her family. So I'm really, again, interested in that. I got World War II, Last Hope Island by Lynn Olson. This is just talking about history about World War II, but I think something to do with the fact that Britain was the last Hope Island, or the last European democracy still holding against Hitler. So I don't know. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. I don't know a lot about this, but I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Sorry. So I don't know a lot about this, but I just, again, it looked interesting. And then one I tried to read a lot, like, was it last year or the year before? I don't remember if someone had a read along or someone talked about this a lot. I don't remember now. It's been a couple of years. Because this came out in 2019. So maybe 2020. We were talking about this because this has to do The Yellow House by Sarah M. Broom. And I think it has to do with her family's home in New Orleans and then dealing with Katrina and stuff. At least I think that's what it's about. I'm not positive, but I saw this and I go, I recognize this because I'd gotten it out from the library, but I didn't get to it at the time. So I just got it, 50 cents. Anyway. And then I have some historical fiction. Here is the only book that I've read out of this stack. Of the library ones that are the library book sale that I got. The Milkman by Anna Burns. This is one of those books I read that I still think about years later. And again, it was one of those ones I didn't know that I was even going to be able to get myself to read. So it came out in 2018. So I might have read it in 2018 or 19. Because I think it won the Man Booker. So I think I read it after that. Again, it's a historical fiction about a girl where nobody is really named. Like, they're called, like, I can't remember how it goes, the second sister or third brother or something. I don't know. Like, so she calls this man who is pretty much harassing her the milkman. And so that's kind of where that comes from. And it talks about her relationships with people in this time period in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. And I really, really enjoyed this. I have thought about this book and I have been wanting to go back to it and maybe reread it at some point. Maybe not yet, but maybe in a couple years I'll want to do that. But I didn't have a copy of it myself, and I just kept putting off buying one. But now that I got one for a pretty good price, and it's not too bad off, so I could reread it anytime. And then the rest of these the last ones are historical fictions. I have Royal in Love by Jean Pleiade. This is about Henrietta Maria, wife of Charles I. So I've been reading, as it says, some other historical books, and I want to try Pleiade. I have like 4 of her books now. Again, her other pen name was Victoria Holt, who was one of my favorite authors as a kid. oh, not as a kid, as a teenager. I discovered her in my teens. My mother and my grandmothers had books of Victoria Holt, so I read everything. I have old copies of all her books. But the Jean Pleiade is more those were historical fictions, but these are more historical, like historical. How do I say that? They're about historical people. Those were just like romance stories, historical romances, and these are like historical fiction. And so I haven't read any of these. I have, as I said, now I have 4 of her books that are like this, but I saw it and I thought I better just get it. I also picked up What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. I have not read Amy Harmon yet. I have Where the Lost Wander, and I was going to read that here pretty soon. Haven't got to it. But I heard, I think somebody, Krista Books and Gems, I think recently read this, and so I was really surprised to see such a nice copy there of this. And I think this has to do with a woman who somehow time travels to Ireland at a certain time, to 1921. So I'm not sure how that works, but it has a lot of historical stuff about 1921 Ireland. So anyway, that sounded good. I also got The Summer Country by Lauren Willig. I've never read anything by her, but this one had to do with Barbados, and a woman had always thought that she was like I guess she was the vicar's daughter or something, and then somehow she finds out that when her grandfather died, she finds out he had this property that he left to her, and so she goes with, I think, her cousin and his wife, I think, something like that, and they go to Barbados to see this, and then it's kind of this burnt out place. I think that was destroyed in so it starts in 1854, so that's the first timeline, and the other timeline is 1816, I think. I don't know, maybe there's dual timeline, maybe not. I don't know, I didn't look too much into it. But it sounds like they're going to look back in the history of why their grandfather had this estate in Barbados and why he left it. Nobody knew that he had it. I don't know. Sounds interesting. And then the very last book is a weird one, but it's one that has been on my wish list for a long time. I was really, really, really excited to see that this was there. It's called Finding Napoleon by Margaret Rodenberg. So I don't remember where I saw this. I don't know if it was like Goodreads recommended or something, but it has to do with Napoleon Bonaparte and some novel that he tried to write. I don't know. And then it has to do with a woman who is close to him in his exile, and then somehow she has to decide if she's going to support him or betray him at some point. I'm not sure, but it just sounded interesting, and that was why I got it. But I was even excited that I didn't pay that much for it. So those are all the books that I got for both stuff I bought already during the month, and then again the tail end of the month I got that library book sale that I did not expect. So again, I brought a lot of books into my house. I need to rearrange my books, and I need to cool it. But unfortunately, I've already bought quite a few books in March. Bad Amy. Anyway, so that's it for now. If you guys have read any of these, there's a lot of books here, but if there's any that you think I should pick up sooner rather than later, let me know. You never know. I might pick it up. I have so much to read that I'm just, as I said, my reading is all over the place right now. But I have a lot of books. I really shouldn't buy any more for a while. I wonder if I can cool it after what I've already bought in March, because it's already too late for that. I'll see what happens. So anyway, did you guys buy anything good in February? Let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.